Good morning and welcome back. Now on Spotlight, we're taking a look as we all are counting down, of course, to the national budget, particularly when it comes to the business community watching closely. It's time to find out what some of the wish lists and expectations are right now.
Inside the Spotlight this morning, we're chatting with the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce to find out what their budget 2025-2026 wish lists and expectations are. This morning, let me welcome the Vice President, Mr. Michael Grant. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Rockers.
And how are you?
I am good. I'm great.
Yeah.
Right. Greetings from the my president and the rest of the board of the Greater Tunapuna Chamber.
Let me say congratulations on your election into the board.
Thank you.
And to the new board as well. We definitely wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you.
Tell me, what are some of the concerns that are on the table presently at the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce?
Okay, so at the top of our list is of concerns would be the crime rate of that is not just affecting the Greater Tunapuna, but it also it's a national issue.
It affects the entire country.
Yes, it does. Right, that's at the top of our list.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next major issue we have is forex, the lack thereof.
Okay. All right. So those are two big ticket items.
Yeah.
Crime and forex.
Crime and forex.
Now, how do we address crime using the national budget?
We'll say that Greater Tunapuna is we're fortunate to have the Minister of Homeland Security as our MP.
Yes. I drive by his office just last night.
Yeah, he works very, very closely with the Tunapuna Chamber.
Nice.
We recall that when he was on the campaign trail, one of the first institutions he visited was the Greater Tunapuna Chamber. And he has maintained that relationship with us. I don't know if you know that Tunapuna has the Eagle Eye project, which is a project that has cameras strategically placed.
Right.
And that has had some level of success in terms of reducing crime in Tunapuna.
Okay.
And from all that we have seen, he has interest in taking this to a national level, and it's something that we will want to see because we saw the effect it has on the reduction of crime in Tunapuna.
Okay.
We feel that it would be a success story throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
And this is just more cameras?
Well, more cameras, but again, not just CCTV footage, etc., but in terms of making greater use of AI and all of that. I have a short listing in terms of what we expect to see in terms of
from the budget. That would help.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me hear your list.
So in terms of crime, we looked at two aspects of crime: tackling crime from a systemic high level position, vis-a-vis overhauling and cleaning up the criminal and the civil justice systems.
Okay.
We also look at establishing a national interagency crime prevention board with public-private oversight. Right, that is from a very, very high level.
Tell me more about that, because I'm very curious, because we have these interagency task force. We've heard about them over time, but we still have a crime problem. How would this board be any different?
We feel that that relationship between the public sector and or businesses and the TTPS, that could bring some level of reduction of crime, as we have seen in Tunapuna, because that is the approach Tunapuna took.
Yeah,
right.
But isn't it that we have because every time the inspector comes, the police comes, they talk to us here in the morning show as well. They tell us about the relationships between the business community and whichever district that the police stations or whatever in, and we're able to have that constant communication. Is that what you're talking about? Or you're talking about something specific when it comes to that board?
What we saw in Tunapuna was a level of passion between the ACP at the time, ACP Smith, and our representative from the Greater Tunapuna Chamber.
Right.
Right. In terms of forming that relationship between the police, the Tunapuna police and businesses, right, and actually making the CCTV system work.
Right. So we want to see more of that.
We want to see more of that. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, I hear you.
So we want to see greater use of artificial intelligence.
How so? Because I have some scary ways you've been using it so far.
All right. More so in terms of monitoring and analyzing surveillance footage, etc. Right. We believe greater focus in that regard.
Okay.
Could assist us. For some years now, we have been hearing about the introduction of serialized license plates. Right. We believe that it is something that the government needs to take seriously at this point. We need to introduce that so that you could get faster detection, even in terms of tracking through RFID, etc. You could actually track criminal activity much more effectively.
With is that serial license plates?
Serialized license
Serialized.
plates.
Break it down for me, because I don't know what I mean. Tell me what I mean. Is it like it have a QR code on the license plate or something?
etc., etc.
Right.
Or if you're tracking by RFID, yes.
Right.
So Raucus 1, that would use, so if Raucus 1 is in Shagamas where he's not supposed to be,
right,
we should be able to pick up on Raucus 1.
But using the CCTV cameras that we have in place now, for example, I mean, everybody have a unique ID as your license plate. It's how it's supposed to be, because my number plate not supposed to be on nobody else's car. So if it is, we able to identify those number plates, then why we need the serial?
All right, but is that true in terms can we actually, how confident do we feel about the license plates that we have on the various vehicles?
So that sounds like a whole overhauling
of the system,
of the whole traffic and licensing department.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, very interesting. So that's one of the things that you think the budget can affect in terms of how we apply that funding to the transport division.
We want to see in terms of our efforts, right? We have to make greater efforts in terms of some of these issues. If it is that we have to really make a dent
in national
crime,
security,
we have to,
okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's some of the higher level things.
Yes.
You miss somebody lower ones for crime.
I really looked at crime at a high level in terms of operational issues. I am sure we have a new police commissioner. He has a new group that is working close to him, and I'm sure that in terms of operational issues to strengthen foot patrols, etc., we will be seeing a lot of that. We cannot deny that since we saw the installation of this new police commissioner, a lot more seems to be happening. We seem to be having we are a lot more aggressive in terms of going after crime, going after criminals, stifling criminal activity, etc.
Well, since he's been in, so he's basically been in an SOE. No?
Well, yes. Notwithstanding, the SOE would have given him that
additional powers.
Yes, that power. And when you look at the information that is published, it would see, well, not that it from the information, from the data, crime is being, there is some impact in terms of the level of criminal activity that we used to have.
Okay. I hear you. I mean, my only concern is measuring it while we're in a SOE becomes a bit difficult because historically speaking, every time we're in a SOE, crime goes down. And the minute we come back out of the SOE, where we no longer have that immediate arrest and hold here and detain policy in place, it becomes a little bit different in terms of how the data flows. So I'm very curious to see how it's going to continue to go. And I hear you on your point of wanting crime to go down because it definitely would affect the business that you do and the entire chamber does. Let's head across to the forex aspect.
But before you go on, you're quite correct in terms of saying that we will want to see some level of sustainability, right? Which is basically what you're alluding to, right? So that too, in terms of our wish list out of the SOE, because we can't have a SOE forever.
Exactly.
What happens after the SOE?
Right.
Yes, we will want to see some real initiatives that will be able to sustain the level of reduction that we are seeing currently.
Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing what those initiatives could be.
Yes.
And how the funding that goes towards the Ministry of Homeland Security is able to assist in that regard.
Correct.
Let's head across to the Forex now. What's the next big ticket item that you have on the list?
Well, in trying to weigh the effects of Forex on the SME sector and crime, it's a very, very hard toss-up to decide which one is most important.
Right. I mean, I feel like they're equally important.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
Right. We can say that the shortage of Forex is threatening the existence of some businesses, and that would be of concern to us as a chamber. In fact, all the chambers, all our national chambers would be concerned that we may lose members. Members may lose their businesses because of an inability to obtain Forex to buy goods.
How do we fix that using the national budget?
Tough question, right? Because we definitely feel that we have to have avenues to see an improvement in Forex availability. We believe if it is that the supply of Forex is increased, even in terms of what we pay now on the black market, we will see a reduction in that price, because again, if it is that demand remains the same, supply increases, right?
So here's the biggest challenge that we face. Where does that supply come from?
All right, good. So we are all waiting with bated breath to see what happens with the refinery.
Right.
Right, because we believe that is one that is definitely, and we all, regardless of what color we wear, whether red or yellow, green, blue, purple, in terms of the refinery coming back on stream, we all would want to see that for better Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
It increases our revenue, and certainly in terms of Forex, a simple thing like bitumen. If you look at the conditions of our roads, right, we could safely say that with the absence of bitumen as a byproduct of the refinery, we have seen our roads suffering.
Okay, I want to go back to the Forex aspect of things. When I asked about the supply, how do we get that supply to go up? How are we arranging that? I have to ask, in terms of at the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce, how many of the members would be bringing in Forex as well, or is it that they only use the Forex to spend and be able to facilitate what they need for their businesses?
So most businesses at this point, we are trying to be Forex earners, right? We know a number of businesses are trying to explore the regional market, right? We have neighboring Guyana that certainly, if
thriving.
Yes, very much so, thriving at this point, right? We, in terms of some of the initiatives from the government in terms of agro-processing and all of that, we can expect some increase in Forex. Whether it would be material enough to deal with the issues we have, right? That is left to be seen.
Well, as they say, drip by drip, we fill the bucket.
Well, definitely.
So we're hoping that we see some positive outcome. Mr. Grant, I want to thank you very much for joining us this morning. We're unfortunately out of time, but I thank you very much for joining us this morning. The Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry Commerce is saying that for the budget 2025-2026, we want to see increased public-private partnerships when it comes to being able to facilitate or stop the growth of crime in Trinidad and Tobago. We also want to see more integrated AI approach when it comes to how we do surveillance and how we're able to assess things. And we want to see a greater supply of the Forex to be able to facilitate the demand of the businesses in the area. Yeah?
Correct.
All right. Thank you very much again, Mr. Grant, for joining us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Grant, the Vice President of the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce, joining us to share a little bit of his wish list and expectations for budget 2025-2026. We take a quick break and we come back with more on our morning show. Stick around.